everybody, it's James here with the Sawyer Family Reviews channel. Today is Wednesday, April 17th, 2019. Hope you did your taxes. And this is your weekly comic book pickups video. Every week I pick up my boys at least one comic each. Oftentimes it's more than one. I also pick up my daughter Gracie one, even though she can't read yet. And I pick up all my comics at Queen City Comics in Fairfield, Ohio, zip code 45014. All right, let's jump in. True Believers. It's currently still doing the Avengers stuff. True Believers are Marvel's $1 reprints of classic Marvel stories that are tied into a current event that's happening either in comics or movies or whatever. And right now it's a bunch of Avengers reprints tied into Avengers Endgame, even though this isn't Avengers Endgame. This is the original Avengers Endgame, but not the movie Avengers Endgame. Make sense? Okay. So this one is a reprint of Avengers number 71 by Stan Lee and Roy Thomas with art by Sal Buscema. And this is a story called Endgame. So it makes sense to reprint this one because Avengers Endgame. And in this story, there's like some time travel stuff happening with Kang. There's a fight between the invaders and, let's see, the invaders and the Avengers. Some Black Knight stuff going on. Yeah, I mean, it's $1. It's classic Stan Lee, Roy Thomas, and Sal Buscema. And I'm throwing other books around while I move this one. There's that. Next up is True Believers, Avengers, The Gatherer Saga, which is a reprint of Avengers 343. I actually had this book. I remember buying this off the shelf. This one's by Bob Harris with Steve Epting doing the pencils. The pencils on this are amazing. I love Steve Epting art. So this one's going to be fun just for the art alone. And then this one, I think Thor and the Eric Masterson Thor and Crystal join the team. Join the Avengers, and there's a return of a foe, if I remember, at the end. But I don't know how this story so much ties into Avengers Endgame. This just leads into the Collection Obsession, which has like time-traveled Avengers, if I remember right, fighting other Avengers. I can't remember. So maybe it's a time travel thing? I have no idea. I have no idea why this one ties into Avengers Endgame. The other ones all seem like they made sense, like a Nebula story and a Thanos story, Stormbreaker, even that one that's called Endgame, all that kind of makes sense. This one, maybe I'm missing something. Leave it in the comments if I'm missing something, I don't know. I haven't seen Endgame yet, so who knows? All right, next up is True Believers, Avengers, Thanos the Final Battle, which is another Infinity Gauntlet reprint. This is a reprint of Infinity Gauntlet number 6. I think it was number 4 that we also got in the True Believers. And this is by, I want to make sure I get it right, Jim Starlin writing and Ron Lim doing all the pencils this time around. And this is, of course, the final battle with Thanos in the Infinity Gauntlet miniseries. I'm not going to show you all this because there's so much going on in this book. I don't want to ruin anything for it. You should really read the Infinity Gauntlet if you're a fan of Thanos and the Infinity War and all that stuff. You should just pick it up. These are great because they're only $1 each, so you can get 2 out of the 6 issues right there for $1 each. You pick up the True Believers. This book is for Gracie, Disney Afternoon Giant. That's $5.99 from IDW. It's the 4th issue. And these are stories about the classic Disney Afternoon cartoons. There's 2 stories in the book. The first story is Rescue Rangers, and the second story is DuckTales. The first story is, story 1 is Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers, Stranger Danger, which I guess this is the first part of this story, or it might be the only one. And then the second story is DuckTales, Rightful Owners Part 4, No Refunds, No Returns. And you can see the creative teams behind each one there. It looks like this Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers, though, is a reprint, originally published in Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers number 4, USA 2011. Oh, well, I wonder if the other stories are actually reprints, too. It's new to me, though. I've never read it. So that's all one part. And this, I guess they're all reprint. Original published in DuckTales number 4. I had no idea that this book featured just reprints put together as one book. That's kind of disappointing, actually. I might actually have some of the reprints already when we've gone through. Who knows? I've never noticed that before. My bad, guys. Next up, Daredevil number 4 for Blaze. Chip Zdarsky, Chichetto, Cho. This book is $3.99. He is enjoying the Daredevil run. Daredevil's wanted for murder. Detective Cole North, the tough as nails transplant from Chicago, has been tasked with bringing the kitchen's guardian devil in. Determined to prove his innocence, Daredevil revisited the scene of the homicide, only to come face-to-face with Detective North. After a scuffle in the streets of Hell's Kitchen, Daredevil was beaten, cuffed, and under arrest until the Punisher showed up. So I guess the Punisher showed up at the end of the last one. And I guess saved him. Beat up this guy. Ooh, look at this. That's an ad. That's an ad for Symbiote Spider-Man. I got that last week. Okay. Yeah, I always love when Daredevil and Punisher interact with each other. So I think he'll enjoy this book as well, because I think he feels the same way. I'm not going to go too forward, but the art is clean. And so far, according to Blaze, the book has been enjoyable to read. This book is for Keaton, Spider-Man City at War #2 from the Gamerverse. This book is $3.99, and it's based on a story by John Paquette and Brian Inthiar and the Insomniac Games writing team, co-written by Christos Gage, with the initial story by Dan Slott. So writer is Dennis Hopeless Halem, and artist is Michelle Bandini. I don't know what's going on with the story, but we love the PS4 Spider-Man game. That's Miles. The art is not the greatest. It's not the best art I've seen, that's for sure. But it's a Spider-Man book that you can read without feeling like you're trapped by all the current Spider-Man storylines, at least. And if you enjoy the game and you just know that Spider-Man from the game, then this book will be great for you. Put this guy over here. Next up is another book for Blaze. I only had one book for him this week, and I had 2 books for Keaton. So I texted him and said, hey, I only got 1 book here. What should I grab? And he said, just go grab a random Goon issue, because he's really been into the Goon. And this is the only one that was there of Goon back issues. Issue 44 from the Dark Horse run by Eric Powell. And this one is, it seems like it's actually a self-contained story about this creature. Man, this Eric Powell art is so fun. So I think that this creature is this whole story. So it kind of worked out. Look at that. Look at that art. Look how fun the Goon is. Yeah, so he's been on a real Goon kick, and he's really been enjoying it. He's got the first 2 trades now. But he was down with just a random issue. So there is that. And then there's a book for me, Major X #2 by Liefeld. You know I had to pick up again after the first one. It was so much fun to look through. Rob Liefeld writing. Brent Peoples is doing the pencil, so he didn't even pencil the second one. I had no idea. I wasn't even pick this up had I known it wasn't Rob doing the pencils. Oh, at least he's writing it, so it'll still be, yeah. It'll be what it is. So this Major X guy has come back through time into like New Mutants issue 90 or 98 or something in the first issue, and interrupted the whole Deadpool confrontation with him, and he needed Cable for something, so he's got Cable and Wolverine from that time period. Now I do enjoy that aspect. I do enjoy Cable and Wolverine from back in the 90s, back when before all the craziness has happened with these 2 characters, just seeing the way they used to be as I remember as a teenager reading them. So in that aspect, okay, maybe I can get some enjoyment out of it. Who knows? And Liefeld's not doing the art, so I don't know what to think about this. Well, I got it, so there it is. Another book for me, Uncanny X-Men #16. I'm really enjoying the Uncanny X-Men run. Something major happened to Cyclops last issue. I'm trying not to spoil it, but you'll probably see it. This is written by Matthew Rosenberg, with Salvador LaRocca doing the art. In the last issue, I think Dark Beast kind of cured the New Mutant gals that had that techno-organic virus going on. And they did it in a way that I hope to not spoil here. Looks like the Mutant Liberation Front has been caught. Cap's in this one again. Giant ad again. Okay, so there, you can see Cyclops actually lives up to his name now. He's only got 1 eye. I won't tell you how that happened in case you read the last issue. But Juggernaut's in this one. Okay. Magneto's in this one. I'm with this book. It may not be the greatest X-Men I've ever read, but at least it's getting close to an X-Men I recognize. And stories I recognize, and villains I recognize, and the art is great. So, yeah, I'm... More of this, Marvel. Please, more of this. Next is a book for Keaton, Transformers #3. I read the first two of these with him, or I'm not with him, but I read them after he read them, and I've enjoyed them both. They're a good jumping on point for Transformers fans. I don't feel like I'm missing out on a ton of stuff. There are some things I don't understand, but I am with it. Written by Brian Ruckley, art by Angel Hernandez and Cachette Whitman. This book is $3.99. X-Men was also $3.99 in case I didn't mention it, so was Major X. So there's two current storylines going on in this book, and I think it's different artists on each story, where Bumblebee is doing his thing, and there's something going on with Prime and Megatron, and I don't know if they've converged in this issue or what. So, yeah. Pretty readable. And then the last thing for today was another of these epic collections came in. Invincible Iron Man, The Man Who Killed Tony Stark by Goodman and Tesca. This was... Let it focus. Come on. Focus. Come on, camera. There we go. $39.99. I said $3.99. And this reprints Iron Man 2 through 24. This is Volume 3, 1968 through 1970. Iron Man's nemesis, the Mandarin, has returned, and he pushes the Golden Avenger to the breaking point. Tony Stark finds his replaced by a life model decoy. Also featuring Controller, Titanium, Crimson Dynamo. Yeah, okay. That's going to be fun. Oh, sorry if my screen went away for a second there. My phone was telling me I'm almost out of battery power. Yeah, these are big, giant, chunky issues, or chunky trades, with a ton of classic issues reprinted in a very nice format. If you're going to get into some classic Marvel stuff, I highly recommend the Epic Collections. Yes, they're a little pricey, but you can find deals. Go to your local comic shop. You might be able to find a deal if you order them through there. If you can't get a good deal through your local comic shop, you should always support them. There's also InStockTrades.com and Amazon where you can get some good deals. But mostly your comic shop will try and help you out. Yeah. All right, so that is it for today. Lots of books, lots of fun. My camera's going out of focus. I don't know what's going on. There we go. Yeah. Okay, guys. See you next Wednesday. If you have any comments, leave them below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. You know that jazz by now. All right. See you guys.